Dear friends in the Dhamma, this is my talk about the Kalakarama Sutra and about the term Papanca. So in the famous Kalakarama Sutta, the Buddha talks about the term Papanca, which usually is translated as proliferation or as spreading mind. This was a good opportunity to remember my teacher, the Venerable Kathakuru Nyanananda, who ordained me, who taught me meditation in Dhamma for many years. He was a very good and very well-known writer of English Dhamma books, and his second book was called The Magic of the Mind. And he dealt with this term Papanca as mentioned in the Kalakarama Sutra. In this discourse, the Buddha talks about the emptiness of consciousness. He says, even so, monks, whatever consciousness, be it past, future or present, in oneself or external, gross or subtle, inferior or superior, far or near, a monk sees it, ponders over it, and reflects on it radically. And even as he sees it, ponders over it and reflects on it radically, he would find it empty, he would find it hollow, he would find it void of essence. What essence, monks, could there be in a consciousness? In the same sutta, the Buddha also compared all forms, so any form from out there as a mass of foam. He compared all feelings as an airy bubble. He compared all perception as a mirage, and he compared consciousness as a magic show. So suppose there would be a magic show. A famous magician is coming to your town. He is standing on the stage and he is showing his tricks as usual. The crowd is watching his show, enjoys his show, and wonders how he is doing all these magic tricks. But then suppose you are not sitting in the crowd, but you are hiding behind the curtain and you watch him closely from behind. And then you can see all his tricks, you can see the strings and the hidden curtains, so you can clearly see how he is doing the magic tricks. Looking into the crowd, you can see the people are excited and they say, wow, how he is doing all this. But you are not excited, because you see it's all just a trick, it's not real. On the way out, you meet the other people and they may ask you, did you not see the show? You look not impressed. What happened to you? Were you sleeping? And you say, oh no, I went sleeping, but I watched it so closely that I missed the show. Whenever the Buddha was speaking about himself, he referred to him as the Tathagata. Tathagata is a term coming from the word Tathata. Tathata means things as they are. And the Tathagata means the one who has seen the things as they are. So one who has seen reality through his experience of meditation, through his experience of enlightenment. So the Buddha advises us in the scene to see just the scene, and the same with all the other senses. So whenever you think about something, it is just a thought. Whenever you feel something, it's just a sensation. To see things in that way, that is called tathata. After the enlightenment of the Buddha had a great dilemma. He looked into the world and he could see that human beings are not much interested in understanding these deeper parts of the Buddhist teaching. He could see that people are very lazy and they will not be interested in doing meditation or in letting go of all desires. So at first he decided not to teach the Dhamma. He's just decided to sit under the tree and meditate till his life ends. But then he was invited by a compassionate deity, and once invited, he accepted the request, and he said, whoever wants to hear the Dhamma can hear it. I am ready to teach it. According to Lao Tzu, those who know don't speak, and those who speak don't know. Now the Buddha and all the holy people who did speak were an exception. But from the first hesitation of the Buddha we can see that he was not much interested. He has no desire anymore even to teach the Buddhist teaching. But once invited, he also cannot say no, because he has a huge amount of compassion. Whenever we develop this idea of I, me or mine, which is also called Sakkaya Ditthi or Mana, then all the other problems start with it. Asavas are called the defilements, and there are three types of defilements. One is Kama-asava, sensuality. The other one is Bhava-asava, becoming, or the desire to become. And the other one is Avijja-asava, ignorance, or not knowing of the true teaching. So ignorance leads to fabrication, to consciousness, to name and form, leads to the six senses, leads to the contact, the feelings, the craving, the clinging. And then it leads to becoming, to birth, old age, death and suffering. But there's another, on the other way is the way out from this suffering. We have to develop some faith in the Buddhist teaching, contentment, rapture, calmness and bliss, leading to samadhi, concentration, to wisdom, to disenchantment, to dispassion, deliverance, cessation, nirvana, enlightenment. Mahamaya, the great illusion. According to the Buddha, our reality is an illusion or a dream-like state. In the Dhammapada, verse number 1, the Buddha says all things are mind-made. Mind-made are all things. That also means through your mental training, you can undo this illusion, or you can wake up from this dream-like state. Suchness being thus leading to that, tattata. So whenever the desire is overcome, when we free our mind from all defilements, then also there is no grasping, there is no anger, and there is no confusion left. The monk Assaji was the one who converted Sariputta and Moggallana to the Buddhist teaching. So Sariputta and Moggallana were wandering through the streets when they saw the monk Assaji. And they could see that this monk is very mindful, very calm, so they approached him. They could see something special about him. So they asked him, could you tell us who is your teacher and what does he teach? And Assaji answered with this one verse, with this one very famous verse. Of things that arise from a cause, their cause the Tathagata has told, and also their cessation. That one stanza was enough for Sariputta and Moggallana to realize the first stage of enlightenment. So they went to the Buddha, ordained under the Buddha, became fully enlightened, and later developed into the main disciples of the Buddha. So when one identifies oneself as reflected in the mirror of consciousness, saying, I am, here I am, one has already taken for granted a duality, though unwittingly. Already a gap is created as a split in experience, and consequently there sets in the possibility of measuring as conceit or mana. Within stillness and silence of one's meditation, there lies the key to liberate one's mind from all suffering. People speak of experiencing stillness and silence in states of deep meditation and having great insight. This is because they are connecting with the realm where everything is one, the infinite ocean of consciousness that I am describing. If they go deep enough they tap into the stillness and silence of all possibility and all knowingness. If it vibrates, it's an illusion. Or put another way, if something is making you restless, if it's vibrating, then it is not the true Dharma. So whenever you do something wrong, whenever you say something wrong, even when you think something wrong, it makes you restless. So the mind is losing its balance, and you can see some vibrations or some unease in your mind. The Buddha was once sitting under a tree when a thunderstorm and lightning occurred. Nearby, a shed caught fire and some cattle got killed by lightning. After the storm was over, the farmers who came running from all sides could see the Buddha sitting peacefully under a tree. So they walked over to the Buddha and they asked him, "Did you not just hear the lightning and the thunderstorm? It was terrible. Didn't you hear anything? Haven't you been here?" And the Buddha awoke from his meditation and he said, "I was here itself, conscious and also unconscious." Meaning he was sitting there, but his mind was in deep meditation, so he could not feel, hear, or experience anything else, except the bliss of liberation. So there is a non-born, a non-made, a non-compounded, which we call Nibbana or enlightenment. This is peace, this is excellent, namely the calming down of all formations, relinquishment of all assets, destruction of craving, detachment, cessation, Nibbana. It is thus that there could be for a monk such an attainment of concentration and liberation. So what the Buddha is saying here is there is a way out from this suffering, from this reality. Through meditation, there is a way to realize enlightenment. Lead me from untruth to truth. Lead me from bondage to liberation. Lead me from darkness to light. Just as somebody looking into a clear lake, seeing the pebbles on the ground, meditators realize this is suffering, this is the rising of suffering, this is the cessation of suffering, and this is the path leading to the cessation of suffering. And his mind is free from all the influxes of becoming, free from ignorance. He is free from all bondage. Pain it is to be born again and again. So shortly after the Buddha attained enlightenment, he uttered this stanza. Through many a samsaric birth I ran, seeking the house builder. In vain, pain it is to be born again and again. O house builder, I see you now, shattered are all your rafters. I reached cravings and I attained full enlightenment. What the Buddha called here householder or house builder is the desire in our mind, the craving, the attachment, the desire in our mind leads to building a house or building a new existence again and again. Once you free your mind from all desires, you are free from rebirth, free from suffering, and you attain everlasting, universal, calm, peace, and consciousness. So may you all be well and happy, enjoy your meditation, and reach stages of enlightenment. Imina punya kammena mami pala samagamo sadang samagamo hotu yava nibbana patiya akasatta jabummata divanaga maitika punyang tang anamodita chiranga kantu sasanam.